All right, so I will ask a couple of questions here about our group and about our roles and some of the things that we got done here. So let's see here. What group did we reflect? There's different types of groups, support groups, social groups, and then there's the family-like group. So I think it's safe to say that we're the family group because we are literally our family. Were we a healthy group? Were we cohesive and ethical and fair? And I thought that went without a hitch. It seemed like everybody was willing to just and Xander was willing to step up and say, all right, I'll do this and I'll do that. And yeah, you didn't mind going and getting the groceries and all that stuff.
That's fine.
Yeah, everyone was willing to do it, and it was just like it's a little bit of an unfair advantage because we're family, so we like doing this anyways, getting together and eat, but it's a good opportunity to,
We've had a lot of practice.
have a group setting. So in the steps of a group, there's forming, storming, norming, performing, and adjourning. And I think we went through all of those stages. We formed, we got together. Our communication was over text message.
That was good.
And then we formed, we got together and had our meetings in person. And then we stormed, and I think that worked really well too because it wasn't just me saying whatever. Like I brought the specifics to you guys about what we need to do, but then you suggested some things and you got the cookbooks out and everything like that.
Xander had thrown in a little bit.
And you were like, look, maybe we should try this. Everybody brought something to the table. Literally. Norming, and that was so everybody kind of fell into a role a little bit. I mean, what it really seemed like was it was just, and we'll talk about leadership in a little bit here, but it seemed like leadership switched throughout the whole thing, and I think that isn't an unhealthy way for a group to perform. The roles were switching, and then performing. We were all here, and we all got together, and
Except for Xander.
And we'll get the next thing on here is conflict. We'll talk about Xander's conflict in a sec here, but yeah, we have
minor.
Yep. We had a person in the group that had to step out. Because of prior engagements, but then we had my other little brother Thomas step in, and he helped with the biscuits, and he's here hanging out with us now. And then right now we are adjourning. This is and it all just flowed together. I mean, because it is, like I said, at the end of the day, just us having a meal. But it wasn't just that. It's
We don't always plan together.
No, yeah, it was very collaborative, and it all just that's how it should go. That is synergy. The conflict again. There was little to no conflict. Everybody seemed very agreeable, but the conflict was my brother Xander stepping out, and he had to go and he has to take care of he had some homework that he had to take care of, a project, and but then we had Thomas step in, and we rolled with the punches, and we didn't let conflict come, and it didn't derail the project at all. We had Thomas step up.
Yep, we did the biscuits.
So yeah, leadership roles. We'll talk about that. So I brought the project to you guys. So I had to come in and tell you guys the specifics of that. But it seemed like in that second meeting that we had that I recorded, that Mom, you really stepped up, and it seemed like you were leading a little bit there. Yeah, I was like, you were leading with the recipes and the different cookbooks and everything. And then we got to today, we're in the performing step, and Chris, and now you kind of took on this leadership because cooking is like your thing. So like I was mixing together just a little bit of coleslaw or whatever, and Mom was peeling potatoes, but you just like made sure everything was done like almost like simultaneously. It was all ready at the same time because cooking is your thing.
That's what I do.
Yeah. But nobody was ever upset about that.
Nope.
leadership
No.
changing.
I think
It
was-
never. It went.
no.
Everybody brought their strengths,
Mm-hmm.
and then leadership changed according to that, and everybody else was fine with that.
And you were really clear about what needed to be done and having it, so you were a good leader in the first place, I think.
Right, and that was and it went from leader in that way to like mediator, to like me mediating between the
Yeah.
project and you guys. But you guys took you took leadership, and then you took leadership, and it worked out really well. Let's see here. We just talked about roles a little bit there. And of course, I would consider myself the recorder because this is for my project. So I'm literally using my phone to record, and I'm going to be writing the paper for this. But also I think you wrote down the list, and I think you wrote down who was cooking.
I did.
So
I-
you played recorded a little bit too there, and then you had a shopping list, and so then it kind of went around.
And then we did a little texting back and forth.
Right,
About
yeah.
the shopping.
Yep.
Because that changed a
That
little
communication,
bit,
it
but
wasn't all just face to face, it was over text message too, and that's important to note. And this is our third and final meeting. We that first day we had those like 2 meetings. We had that pre-meeting where I kind of brought the project to you guys, and then I let us like do the deliberation on camera.
Mm-hmm.
That was like our second meeting. That's I consider that our second meeting, and then this is our third and final. How did I pick my group? That was because you guys, I would get together, let's cook a meal with somebody. I was like, okay, well, I'm lucky enough to have my family here. And you guys have also been the audience for my other project. So I was like, well, I got another project. Let's, are you guys willing to do this? I mean, you guys could have said no or been busy or whatever, but you guys were more than willing to, like, no, let's do it. That sounds great.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Yeah,
I
so
love
it was a relatively easy process. Yeah, we talked about it. It was mostly face-to-face communication, but there was the texting and coordinating a little bit there. Let's see here. What did I learn about group communication? So, and it talks a little bit in the project. It talks about what, like the difficulties and everything like that. But what I've learned from this was like if you choose willing people based on their strengths, you know what I mean? Everyone's got their strengths and dependable people. That if the synergy, we talk a lot about synergy with group communication, and that just flowed. That kind of took care of itself. Like you like cooking, you like doing, you were finishing up all the touches, you were doing the big stuff. You like to get everybody together
Planner. I'm
and
always
everything
a
like
planner.
that. Yep. And I'm a talker.
But a lot of times,
So, I don't mind talking, explaining the project and everything.
Right. We just do the meals a lot of times for everyone. We don't have everyone get involved, and I think we should do it more often because it really wasn't. I always thought it's hard. We should just do it, but doing that like
Right,
brainstorming,
that's
maybe
my-
we'll do it for Thanksgiving.
That's my thing, is that it was, I didn't learn a lot of difficulties. If anything, I learned that it was easier once you just sat down. You're like, okay, assign roles, and it just kind of took care of itself, which was a little bit lucky, but I think it makes you guys are good communicators.
Not even the boys can help.
Yeah,
'Cause we don't
everybody.
always
Yeah,
have them help.
that was great, and it worked out really well. So thank you guys for being in my group here and getting this group meal done, and it's delicious.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.